Sayyidi, what should we do if we witness someone being overtaken? What if someone is close to us, or are there like extra precautions to take for our children?
Yeah, if that's a person that you can advise on how to follow these things, or a person whom you can't do anything with and they're just possessed, and try to not be around them, inshaAllah. Because more and more negativity and more sort of insanity, and people whom have a sensitivity to energy, they have to be vigilant. They have to leave being heedless. If you feel that God has given you a gift of being sensitive to energy, sensitive with faith, and you have to be vigilant to guard that. If every time you take yourself somewhere and come back with bad energies and fears and doubts, and you're not putting the two together, that you have the ability to catch energy. Then you go to some sort of crazy mall and you come back with all sorts of fears, all sorts of panics, all sorts of… as if you took all the shaitans at the mall and put them into your bus and took them home. And this is the danger that people expose to their family, to their children, to everything, because you're going and collecting all these creatures and then bring them in the home and then wonder why everything is, the energy is crazy, the thoughts are crazy, manic, and all sorts of fears and thoughts. And it's not just coming random, you have to associate that with an energy that you picked up. Say that when you're in your garden of salawats and good deeds and good actions, those energies don't come like that, and if they do, they come at a very far distance in which you can begin to make your recitations and salawats and your practices. But when you take yourself to a crowded environment and then come back with all sorts of mania and manic and anxieties and thoughts, and you're not putting the two together, that you're going and collecting garbage and then come back and now you have to try to process that garbage. At some point there's a responsibility to keep yourself in clean environments, go less to where these energies are collecting, because the majority of people are not well. They're spiritually not well. Imagine if they were physically all had the flu and some sort of disease, you wouldn't go there. But because you're not giving the same importance to spiritual disease as physical disease. If somebody says, oh, everybody there has leprosy, you're not going to go. And the fact that you don't treat that spiritual sickness much more important, as significant as a physical sickness. Because if these spiritual energies grab hold and try to come, many people can't shake them off, and that creature just resides within the home and making problems and fitna, and then the person becomes anxious, depressed, becomes all sorts of different emotions because they're picking up unwanted passengers. That's why then the durood, the salawats in the house, dalail khairat, isfan, all the spiritual practices. And that's why external people, they mock these things, but most of those external people will fall under these difficulties because they just don't believe in these practices, and they don't understand why they themselves are losing their minds, becoming aggressive, angry, and all sorts of bad characteristics from that very energy. And the fact that you didn't believe in a ta'weez, you didn't believe in muraqabah, you didn't believe in getting the support from Prophet, and as a result, little bit of knowledge that you think you have by entering into Islam may have been your great downfall. because it created a pride and arrogance within you to think, no, 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 I know exactly, it's just Allah. But no, Allah is asking for you that وَكُلُوا مَا أَصَادِقِينَ ittaqullah, have a taqwa and keep the company of pious people. So you have to keep the company of people because you're a human, and from the company of humans you build your energy, you build the connection, you build your knowledges, and then you ask for Divinely support through these associations and connections. But you can see how when shaitan teaches arrogance and bad character, he's basically cutting them off from protection.
Woman of faith, protect them well. Them feel the energy deep like a spell. Keep the home clean with the sun and the root. Turn it to Makam where angels include.
Raise up the secret, the heart unite. I don't say Allah till we shine so bright. Salawat sweet like the morning light. We under the shield of light. Raise up the secret, the heart unite. Don't say Allah till we shine so bright. Salawat sweet like the morning light. We under the shield of light. Who protect we when the darkness fall? Allah, He guard them all. Who send Qadra when the heart gets small? Of Muhammad.